Dream mode. Your brain does not turn off when you dream. It opens a tiny movie studio inside your skull and gives the director no budget, no script, and way too much emotional baggage. During EM sleep, your brain becomes highly active while most of your body stays temporarily still. That stillness matters. Your brainstem helps limit muscle movement so you do not physically act out every dream. Without that safety lock, a dream about running from a monster could turn your bedroom into a low-budget action scene with one broken lamp and several regrets. And here is the strange part. Dreams are not random nonsense. They are more like your brain mixing memory, emotion, fear, desire, and leftover mental junk into one extremely weird smoothie. The hippocampus helps pull in memory fragments. The amygdala can add fear and emotional intensity. That is why a dream can feel terrifying even when the plot makes no sense. Like being chased by your math teacher through a supermarket made of cheese. Your prefrontal cortex, the part involved in logic and self-control, is less active during many dreams. So the dream can show you a talking dog wearing your old school uniform and dream. You just accept it like, yeah, that seems normal. Here is the twist. Dreaming may help your brain process emotion, organize memories, and simulate strange situations safely. It is like a nighttime rehearsal room where your brain tests disasters without actually ruining your life. Very useful. Completely unhinged. So when you wake up thinking, what was that? The answer is not simple madness. It is your brain cleaning, sorting, rehearsing, and accidentally producing the weirdest independent film of the year. Because dreaming is not your brain wasting time. It is your mind running a midnight cinema where your fears, memories, and random thoughts all show up without tickets. Brain freeze. You did not freeze your brain. Your ice cream slapped the roof of your mouth, and your nervous system called an emergency meeting in your forehead. The pain feels like it is coming from inside your skull, but the cold actually hits your palate, the roof of your mouth. When something icy lands there too fast, nearby blood vessels react quickly. They tighten, then shift again. Nerves fire. The trigeminal nerve gets dragged into the drama. It is like your mouth stepped on a Lego, but your forehead screamed. Terrible teamwork. Very bad customer service. And here's the weird part. Your brain is not great at mapping this pain. It receives the signal and basically says, something terrible is happening upstairs. Even though the real criminal is a milkshake with confidence. That is why the pain shoots into your forehead, instead of politely staying in your mouth where the crime happened. The fancy name is sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia, which sounds less like a headache and more like a rejected Harry Potter spell. But the idea is simple. Cold roof of mouth, sudden blood vessel reaction, nerve confusion, instant skull lightning. Your body sees frozen dessert and responds like a tiny weather emergency just formed behind your nose. And here's the twist. Brain freeze is usually harmless. It is not brain damage. It is not your neurons turning into popsicles. It is not your skull downloading winter. It is your body yelling, slow down, dessert raccoon. So the move is simple. Warm the roof of your mouth. Press your tongue against it. Sip something warmer. Or pause for a few seconds before attacking ice cream like it signed your name on a loan. You do not need a medical drama. You need patience and slightly less goblin energy. Because brain freeze is not your brain freezing. It is a tiny cold alarm, a confused pain map, and your skull punishing you for speedrunning dessert like a competitive goblin. Body odor. Sweat is not the villain. Sweat is mostly salty body water trying to cool you down. The real crime starts when bacteria show up like tiny chefs in a restaurant that should absolutely fail inspection. Your body has eccrine glands, which make watery sweat for cooling, and apocrine glands, which sit in places like your armpits and groin. Apocrine sweat has more fats and proteins, so bacteria treat it like an all-you-can-eat buffet. When they break it down, they release smelly compounds. Translation: your armpit did not make the smell alone. It hosted a microscopic barbecue, and the bacteria brought the seasoning. And here's the twist. Body odor is not always about being dirty. Heat, stress, hormones, clothing, and genetics can all change the smell. Stress sweat can smell stronger because apocrine glands get involved, which means your body can smell nervous before your mouth even says, "I'm fine." Very unfair. Very accurate. Your armpits are basically gossiping about your emotional state. So the move is not to panic spray deodorant like you were exercising a haunted basement. Wash the areas where bacteria gather, dry your skin well, change sweaty clothes, and choose the right tool. Deodorant fights smell. Antiperspirant reduces sweat. Different weapons. Same tiny armpit war. Because body odor is not your body betraying you, it is sweat, bacteria, hormones, and chemistry turning your skin into a warm little crime scene with terrible ventilation. Balance glitch. You are not dizzy because the floor suddenly became evil. Your brain is arguing with your inner ear, your eyes, and your muscles, and nobody brought a mediator. Balance is not controlled by one magical stand upright button. It is a constant group chat between your vision, your joints, your muscles, and the vestibular system inside your inner ear. That vestibular system has tiny fluid-filled canals that sense head movement. When you turn, the fluid shifts, tiny hair cells bend, and your brain gets the message. We are moving. Very elegant, very weird. Basically, your skull has a tiny water park running navigation. And here is the twist. Dizziness often happens when the signals do not match. Your eyes might say, "We are standing still," while your inner ear says, "Nope, we are spinning like a washing machine full of shoes." That mismatch can make you feel lightheaded, off balance, or nauseous. This is why spinning in circles wrecks you. The fluid in your inner ear keeps moving for a moment, even after you stop. So your brain receives old motion data like a GPS that refuses to update. Suddenly the room tilts, your stomach files a complaint, and you walk like a baby deer wearing roller skates. Small crystals in the inner ear can also move into the wrong place and confuse the system, which is one reason some people get sudden spinning sensations. So when balance glitches, the move is not to challenge gravity like a hero. Sit down, focus your eyes on something still, move slowly, and give the system time to resync. Because balance is not just standing up. It is your brain running a live negotiation between eyeballs, ear fluid, muscles, and gravity. And gravity is very patient, but it never loses. Sneeze blast. You do not sneeze because your nose enjoys violence. You sneeze because your body found an intruder and decided diplomacy was officially dead. When dust, pollen, pepper, smoke, perfume, or some microscopic troublemaker irritates the lining inside your nose, sensory nerves send an alarm to the brainstem. The brainstem does not politely ask for clarification. It starts the sneeze reflex like someone hit a giant red button labeled, "Launch the face cannon." First, you take a sharp breath in. Then muscles in your chest, throat, diaphragm, and face coordinate in one chaotic little orchestra. Pressure builds, your eyes close, your mouth opens. Your face makes that strange pre-sneeze expression like your soul just saw a ghost in the kitchen. And then boom! Air blasts out through your nose and mouth, carrying mucus droplets and irritants with it, like a biological leaf blower trying to remove a criminal from the property. Here is the twist. A sneeze is not just air. It is an eviction system. Your nose is not being dramatic for fun. It is trying to clear the airway before the irritant gets deeper. Even the mucus is part of the trap because sticky mucus catches particles like a gross little security net. Then the sneeze throws the whole problem out the front door with hurricane energy. Your eyes closing does not mean they would pop out. That is cartoon nonsense. It happens because the sneeze reflex activates nearby facial muscles, so for 1 second your whole face joins the rebellion. Some people even sneeze from bright light, called the photic sneeze reflex, because apparently the wiring in the face was installed by a tired electrician who connected the sun to the nose. So do not hold a sneeze in like you are trying to trap a tiny grenade inside your skull. Cover it with your elbow or a tissue. Wash your hands. Let your nose do its security job without turning the room into germ confetti. Because a sneeze is not random drama. It is your nasal alarm system spotting a suspicious guest, calling the brainstem, pressurizing the launch chamber, and firing the intruder out of your face like nature's most disgusting eject button. Stomach noise. Your stomach does not wait for a quiet room by accident. It waits until you are in class, in a meeting, or sitting beside someone you like, then performs a whale song from under your shirt. Those rumbles are called borborygmi, which sounds like a cursed spell, but it just means gas and fluid moving through your gut. Your intestines squeeze in waves called peristalsis, pushing food, liquid, air, and digestive juices forward. Basically, your belly has a meat conveyor belt, and sometimes the belt needs oil. And here's the twist. Stomach noise does not only happen when you're hungry. After you eat, your gut churns and mixes food. When you have not eaten for a while, your intestines run a cleanup cycle called the migrating motor complex. It sweeps leftovers and gas forward like a janitor, pushing a squeaky cart through an empty hallway. The quieter the room, the more your gut decides it is time for a drum solo. Gas makes it louder too. Fast eating, fizzy drinks, swallowed air, or normal gut bacteria can add bubbles, turning your intestines into a haunted drainpipe with opinions. Most of the time, it is normal. Not elegant, not socially helpful, but normal. If it comes with strong pain, vomiting, swelling, fever, blood, or major bowel changes, then pay attention. Otherwise, slow down when you eat, chew properly, and go easy on fizzy drinks before important moments. Because stomach noise is not your body betraying you. It is digestion, gas, muscle waves, and one very rude internal plumbing system, choosing the worst possible time to speak. Goosebumps. Your skin is not trying to become a cactus for fun. Goosebumps are an old survival reflex that your modern body still uses, even though you are probably just cold, scared, or listening to a dramatic song like you are in a movie trailer. Tiny muscles attached to your hair follicles contract. They are called erector pili muscles, and when they tighten, your hairs stand up. On furry animals, this helps trap a layer of warm air or makes them look bigger when threatened. On humans, it mostly makes you look like a plucked chicken having an emotional moment. And here is the twist. Goosebumps are not only about temperature. Fear, awe, music, memories, or sudden emotion can trigger the sympathetic nervous system, the same fight-or-flight network that speeds your heart and sharpens attention. That is why a creepy hallway, a cold breeze, or one perfect chorus can all flip the same tiny skin switch. Your body does not always know the difference between possible predator and this violin solo is destroying me. Very poetic, very confused. Most goosebumps are harmless. They are just your nervous system pressing an ancient button that made more sense when our ancestors had more body hair and fewer heated blankets. Because goosebumps are not random bumps. They are your skin remembering an older version of you. One that wanted to stay warm, look bigger, and survive the night without becoming something else's dinner. Ear pressure. Your ears are not broken when they pop on a plane. They are just trying to negotiate with the air like tiny diplomats trapped inside your skull. Behind each eardrum is the middle ear, a small air-filled space connected to the back of your nose and throat by the eustachian tube. That tube helps equalize pressure. When the pressure outside changes fast, during takeoff, landing, driving up a mountain, or diving underwater, your middle ear needs to catch up. If it does not, the eardrum gets pulled or pushed, and suddenly your ear feels full, blocked, or weirdly stuffed, like someone installed a tiny pillow inside your head. And here's the twist. The pop is usually not a problem. It is the fix happening. When you swallow, yawn, or chew, the eustachian tube can open for a moment and let air move in or out. That little pop is pressure equalizing, Like your ear finally opening a stuck door and saying, "Okay, we can hear again." This is why chewing gum on a plane actually helps. Not because gum is magic, but because your jaw is repeatedly asking the tube to open. Very boring. Very effective. When you have a cold, allergies, or sinus congestion, the tube can get swollen or blocked, so pressure feels worse. Your ear is not being dramatic. The hallway is literally clogged. So do not fight it like a hero. Swallow, yawn, sip water, chew gum, or gently try to equalize pressure. But avoid forcing hard, especially if you are sick or in pain. Because ear pressure is not your hearing failing. It is your eardrum, your eustachian tube, and the outside world arguing over air pressure, and your ear just wants everyone to stop shouting. Tear shield. Your eyes do not make tears only when life gets dramatic. They are making tiny protective puddles all day, even when you are just staring at a screen, pretending one more email will not damage your soul. Every blink spreads a thin tear film across the eye. That film has layers, an oily layer to slow evaporation, a watery layer to hydrate and rinse, and a mucus layer that helps the whole thing stick smoothly to the surface. Basically, your eye has its own windshield system, except the car is your face and the road is full of dust, wind, bacteria, bad lighting, and whatever your ceiling fan has been collecting since 2017. And here is the twist. Tears are not just emotional water. They contain salts, oils, mucus, and protective proteins like lysosine, which can help fight some bacteria. That is why dry eyes can feel gritty, burning, or tired, like someone sprinkled invisible sand into your skull and then asked you to finish a spreadsheet. Reflex tears are the emergency version. Chop an onion, get smoke in your face, ride a motorbike in the wind, or open your eyes near dust, and your nerves send an alarm. The lacrimal glands release more fluid to flush the problem away. Your eye is not being dramatic. It is power washing the crime scene. Emotional tears are different. They show up when sadness, relief, stress, or even joy overloads the system. That is why you can cry at a funeral during a breakup, or at a random movie scene where a dog comes home. Your brain knows it is a movie. Your tear ducts apparently did not get the memo. So, when your eyes water, do not treat it like weakness. Sometimes it is cleaning. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is your nervous system opening a pressure valve before your face becomes a haunted kettle. Because tears are not just crying. They are lubrication, cleaning, defense, and your eyes running a tiny car wash every time the world gets too dry, too dirty, or too much. Yawn Effect. You do not yawn because your mouth is bored and wants attention. A yawn is your brain and body running a strange little reset button, usually at the most suspicious times. During a long meeting, in class, while someone is telling a story, or right after you promised, "No, I'm listening." A yawn starts with a deep inhale, a wide jaw stretch, and changes in your face, throat, chest, and breathing muscles. It is not just opening your mouth. It is a full-body software update disguised as a socially awkward face stretch. And here is the twist. Scientists still debate exactly why we yawn, but it is linked to sleepiness, boredom, transitions between alert states, and possibly brain temperature regulation. Basically, your brain may be trying to shift gears like an old car coughing before it decides whether to wake up or become furniture. Yawning can also be contagious. Seeing someone yawn, hearing one, reading about one, or even thinking about one can make your own brain prepare the same action. That may involve social mirroring systems, attention, and empathy-related circuits. Very advanced biology. Also extremely annoying because now a stranger on the bus can accidentally hack your face. The funny part is that contagious yawning is not a sign you are weak. It is your brain copying a social signal before you can stop it, like your mouth joined a group project without asking you. So, when you yawn, do not treat it like a moral failure. It may mean you are tired, understimulated, shifting states, or your brain is trying to stay regulated. Get sleep, move around, breathe fresh air, or change the environment before your face starts doing public theater. Because a yawn is not just tiredness. It is a jaw-stretching, lung-filling, brain-resetting little glitch. And the weirdest part is, just hearing about it might make you do one. Which sign surprised you most? Tell us in the comments. And stay tuned for the next video by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching.